Islam. So I'm going to continue. Once again, this is part two. Part two of July the 8th, 2018, as I give testimony of my son, Arrington-Bey, Islam. So once again, many times, in reference to the connection of this being global, dealing with these unclean soulless spirits, and how the war spiritually is truly about souls fighting against these soulless unclean filth, because they cannot recycle that same energy. Islam. So in this knowledge and knowing that they cannot, all right, and how they behave like predators, whether they're because they have the code to make them telepathic. Some of them are born with this code that caused them to be telepathic, and some of them accept the code as time go by, or souls who have accepted the code and didn't know. Okay, they behave like predators, stalking, trying to force the amalgamate to stop what is supposed to be happening, a healing that is happening, a cleansing of the earth and the universe that is happening. And I see this connection globally. Arrington-Bey, when he was in New York, Dwayne Byfield Bey, he didn't know of what he was among. I didn't know. If I would have known what we were among, I would never have sent him to New York at the age of 14. Never. I said this before. Never would I've done it, because I would not want my son, my youngest son that I loved. He was 7 pounds 11. He was 7 pounds 11 ounces, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. 20 inches. I breastfed him for about 5 months. I took him to get his shots, which I didn't understand what was in immunization shots at the time, because I was not knowledgeable of immunization shots. But when my consciousness peaked at the year of between 2010 and 2011, I became knowledgeable by listening to different Moors of what's really in those immunization shots. Another form to help, another example to help lower the vibration, keep those souls from not raising their frequencies, thinking high, which is in connection to Mother Earth and the universe. The same with not understanding what's in the meat, because human flesh is known to be in some meats they used. Other cannibalistic procedures are done in food that we don't know about, or how they create genetically modified food that look to be a fruit, but it's not a fruit. This is all in connection to the poisoning of the air, the food, the water. How chemicals are so much in the water. You have souls, or those that don't have but spirits, buying bottled water to try to drink fresh, clean water, so that they don't get sick, because they're fighting to stay healthy. So Arrington-Bey was innocent when he went to New York. I brought his clothes. I held him tight when he slept. When he was sick, I took him to the doctor. I kept him in school. I loved him so much when I started to realize things, my consciousness had changed, Pete, that I took him out of the public school and started trying to homeschool him. When I meditated and understood the importance of meditation and breathing, it wasn't just me. It was me, Arrington-Bey, and Imani-Bey meditating in a circle. When I tried to reclaim my nationality, first through the Washita, it wasn't just me that felt. I didn't just get paperwork for me. I got paperwork for Arrington-Bey and Imani-Bey now as well. I paid for that $300 was for all three of us. So I'm showing you, Dwayne Arrington-Bey, that if I would have known about the unclean spirits that we were among, I would not have sent him to New York. And naturally, this son of mine is not a energy, a soul that partakes in behaviors that is against his true nature. Like many of us as souls who don't know what's going on or slowly start to see, but sometimes we, because of so many different forms of attack, we are not able to protect ourselves the way we want, or our children. These spirits that we are among, I see rely on many forms of lack of knowledge. I myself, when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, when I was in dating the pale skin and not understanding that they're not able to recycle the same energy, not understanding the spirit, the unclean spirit that I am among, I didn't know. I had no idea. Once again, I'm living in Cobb County. The program that I am accustomed to is to be among this spirit, amalgamate with this spirit. But when my consciousness changed or peaked, that was the last thing I wanted to amalgamate with on a personal level. And it's the same now, because I see a connection to the deterioration of your true self in that amalgamation with not just it, not the physical, because this is all about spiritual and souls. And so I understand that it's not about the pale skin or the white man, because you got the Negro black who is soulless as well. You got that Spanish, Mexican, or El Salvador, wherever, because this is a global thing that's soulless as well, an unclean spirit. In Mexico, I'm thinking about the wars that went on there, and how many souls lost their lives trying to protect themselves and not force amalgamate with this soulless species, because they saw what was truly happening. In South America, how many souls lost their lives fighting to not amalgamate with this soulless filth, because they had eyesight, their third eye was open, and they chose to transition before they amalgamate with this soulless filth. In Africa, the continent of Africa, in different countries, how many souls lost their lives or chose to transition, not lost their lives, chose to transition because they chose not to amalgamate with this soulless filth, or have an agreement, take them as allies. to be in union with, because they saw what was happening. And they saw the connection of the deterioration of the vibrations of the earth and the universe. And not when I say deterioration, I'm saying the lowering, and what they were truly trying to do. Masking it with a new form of science. Masking it with this is a form of racism. They're just racist. So it's not about the physical or the Middle Eastern or whoever. So I see it's not about the physical shell. This is definitely about spirit, the souls, and it's about the souls fighting to raise their frequencies so that this healing, this cleansing can continue. Because through science, these unclean spirits will self-annihilation. And those that have sold their souls will be along with them. And I think that's what the Quran keeps warning us about. Because they won't be able to raise their vibrations. And I think in Caveat Epter, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I think that's what he is also referencing to. He speaks of, he says, Moors are on high levels. While this Moorish horde will continue, he said, but the true Moors are on a high level. So I think what he is trying to demonstrate, I could be wrong, but I think he's demonstrating a science, how those Moors who truly have a pure heart, because he speaks of purity, love, learning to love and not hate. The difference, I think he, in reference to love, he's talking about a form of love that is connected to your highest self, not the love that you feel, because I think love is like Elohim. It's how you direct that energy, how you build that energy that causes it to be a blessing or a misfortune for you. So that energy of love, when Prophet Noble Drew Ali is speaking of, I see he is referring to building that energy of love that you can direct, like you can direct your soul to attune to your higher self into righteousness, or direct your soul to be attuned to the lower self and behave that of a harmful spirit. That energy of love, you can attune to it and direct it towards your higher self, which will help you raise your frequency. So it matters how you love and how you attune to that energy and direct that energy of love. And Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I think he is encouraging Moors to learn how to love. And so when he speaks of Moors, the true Moors, True, true Moors, he is speaking to Moors that are able to, who have worked at trying to learn how to direct that energy of love towards their higher self, which is that energy of mercy, compassion, virtue, harmony, righteousness. And he's saying those Moors that have actually worked hard and done, or have done this, they already see those that are pretending to understand what this energy is, but have chosen to sell their souls for to embrace a form of love that they have directed towards their lower self, to embrace the physical pleasures of this earth in this lifetime. This lifetime. Prophet Noble Jawali also prophesies once again how when certain Europeans or energies leave, the fruits, the bananas I think he used, I'm using, and this is not word from word, would get bigger. So once again, I think he's using science. He's demonstrating science. He's demonstrating science in learning how to love instead of hate, and he's demonstrating science when the energy, because these energies are not able to recycle the same energy, leave. Said the fruit would get bigger, the bananas will become bigger. Because these energies that we are among are takers. They cannot recycle the same. Because their thoughts, words, and deeds are unclean. Islam. And those Moors who are quick to say we all are Moors and use definition of what a Moor is, but still have not done the work to try to direct that energy of love towards their higher self, will be along with them. That's why I think he brings up caveat emptor. He's speaking of that. He's speaking in that. He's speaking of that prophecy of what's happening. Spirit. He says, when I speak, this is spirit speaking. So me as a awakening soul, a Moor, I'm thinking as I try to learn the different form of love that attunes to the higher self, because I'm directing this energy of love towards my higher self. I'm doing it because I want to be one of the Moors that are high above, raising my frequencies through thoughts, words, and deeds. I don't want to be one of the ones that I have directed that energy of love towards my lower self. And because I keep using the word love, makes it okay. Islam. I send love and praise to my son Abbas Malik Bey and many young souls like Abbas Malik Bey. Many in this war, the spiritual war that we have been among. We have been with our lower self, and because of the lower self, these external energies that exist, because that too is science. Many young souls. Masal Bey, Dwayne Bafu Bey, Allah is so great. Sent this soul to me, and I was sent to him, because letting us see the connection of West Africa, of the present day, with the West Africa in ancient times, which is here in northwest of Mexico. Atlantis. And other, or I should say or ancient civilizations, showing how we are connected. He just came back in my life to show me. I came in his life to show him. But he probably didn't have the eyes to see. I didn't have the eyes to see. Because I saw he was a sleeping Moor from the continent of West Africa in the present day. And I was a sleeping Moor in the continent in this northwest of Mexico. That is what is truly northwest of Mexico in reference to what Abraham Lincoln's talking about in the Holy Crown Circle 7. But we are connected. So Allah is great. Islam.